Hi, gun people. So this is the gunfight in OK Jersey City, in New Jersey, and there's a lot of stuff, man. I mean, the cops just look. It is a military occupying force. How's all that gun control in New Jersey? How's all those restrictions about buying ammo? Good people, law-abiding citizens can't buy ammo, can't buy guns, can't possess a gun, can't carry a gun. Yet two guys, felons, committing drug deals, have guns and shoot out with cops. How's all that gun control working out for you in New Jersey and all you other left-wing idiots that think taking guns from good people will help keep you safe? Look at the military force on these calls.
Right outside New York City, killing a police officer and 3 innocent civilians trapped inside a store.
Notice it says the gunfire and 3 innocent civilians. It doesn't say the bad guys killed them. I have yet to be able to find an article that said who killed the innocent civilians. Because my guess is it's probably the damn cops. When you see how many cops are there, you'll understand why.
During the gunfight, the 2 suspects, the gunmen, are also dead tonight. SWAT teams in heavily...
Look at the size of these military vehicles with turrets. Does this look like 1 out of 12 your friendly cops who are here to protect you? Or does it look like Afghanistan, Iraq, third world countries with just fancy painting and fancy lights?
The armed vehicles rushing to the scene in Jersey City, New Jersey. Police moving through the streets. The attackers hold.
Police with guns moving through the streets. Rick, we thought guns were bad. Well, they are, unless government tells you that only government with guns is good. And you're an idiot.
Pulled up in that supermarket, clearing the way for some of those bystanders outside to get out of harm's way. Some 30,000 children on lockdown for a time inside.
Look at the sniper dude. Got his pack, got his rifle, got his nice ladder to climb buildings.
Dozens of nearby schools, and tonight, that city already mourning that officer, a father of 5. ABC's
turret, metal, helmet, military helmet, headphones, military gear. Wants to look like... I've always wanted to be in the military, but I just thought I'd become a cop and shoot my fellow countrymen and my fellow citizens instead of joining the military where I have rules of engagement.
Adrian Bankert leads us off from the scene tonight.
Oh, man, the FBI. Shit, if they're on scene, everything should be fine. I thought these guys were busy chasing freaking Trump and the Russians. What are they doing out here?
Tonight, a terror.
This guy's running away from the fire. Typical FBI. Uh-oh. He's about to join the Code of the Bald.
Deadly shootout on the streets of New Jersey. Heavily armed SWAT teams racing through the streets.
Heavily armed SWAT teams.
Drawn, 2 suspects unleashing a barrage of gun.
Look like military guys. Military uniform. Wasn't there something in that pesky document called the Constitution about military being used on the people? But Rick, they're not military, they're police. Tomato people.
Fire on officers.
Every time any approach is attempted or anyone comes out.
Wow, look at all these armored, plated tanks. Oh, wait a minute, there is a tank with a track in one of these pictures.
Cover, he opens fire.
The gunmen barricading themselves in the Jersey City supermarket, hostages trapped inside, innocent bystanders caught in the intense crossfire.
2 citizens. How many cops? See, that's a problem. When you have 2 people, and look how many government shows up. What the hell are all these people doing when they're not doing this? How did all these people have jobs? What job isn't being doing since they're out here? I mean, Rick, it's a shooting and they needed everybody. Please, come on. You got 2 dudes with guns. There's a hostage situation. You have 1 SWAT team. You have people to barricade the place off. You set up a staging area. You set up a command post. You have a few people to go to incidents that happen in the area or maybe for evacuation. You do not need an entire freaking military force of 1,000 cops to handle 2 guys with guns.
Thousands of rounds exchanged.
So we look and then we saw all these cops running from from the gunfire, we heard more. We heard like automatic weapons.
The neighborhood turning into a war zone. One officer was shot.
There was 2 guys with guns there. Who turned it into a war zone? The 1,000 cops that showed up with automatic weapons and armored tanks and started shooting up everything? Who turned this? I mean, it's like saying Iraqi people destroyed their own communities and blew up their own houses. No, they didn't. The government went there to help. Our tax dollars did that. It's like saying the Japanese people blew up 2 cities. No. Our government blew up 2 cities with nukes. Okay? I mean, look, I'm not hating on the country. I'm hating on our government that we've lost track of. And unfortunately, our government represents our country. And this is a representative of what you're living under. No accountability, massive firepower, massive tanks, massive air support. I mean, all this control. And people be like, well, at least I can go buy a gun with a 14-day wait period that can't shoot more than 1 round every fucking 2 minutes.
In the shoulder. 3 hostages were killed in the store, and another officer was also killed.
Who killed him? We don't know if this officer was killed by the bad guy yet. You know, to come out 2 years from now, ballistics reports showed that the officer was killed by friendly fire. Really? I wonder why. I mean, there's only who's in control of this? Does anybody think there's one guy in control that knows where everybody's at? Does anybody even think they're on the same freaking radio channel? You have every agency and every bloodthirsty cop out here trying to earn their wings of shooting somebody.
He was a father of 5. 46 schools in the area were put on lockdown. 30,000 kids taking cover in their...
Oh, let's make it look like we need all this government. 30,000 kids on lockdown. Schools on lockdown. The government's here to save the day. Kids are locked up probably so the damn cops ain't shooting them. You've only got 2 guys in one area and you've got them secure. Why do you need to lock down 30,000 kids at all these schools? Well, Rick, it sounds good. And it makes people fear. And fear is a great motivator to control people and to tell you that guns are really bad. Unless all these government guys have them, then they're really good. Then they're not assault rifles, they're patrol. I'm waiting for the government to start calling rifles protection rifles. When government has a rifle, it's a protection rifle. When a pesky citizen has it, it's an assault rifle. 2 guys with guns in the greatest state with the greatest gun control, and 1,000 freaking cops show up with automatic weapons. Thousands of rounds fired, and they're blaming 2 guys for turning the whole city into a war zone. I mean, that just doesn't make any damn sense to me.
Their classrooms.
Reach out to Sacred Heart, have them keep some kids out of the window.
Then I heard gunfire, boom, boom, boom. And then after that, we just...
Yeah, when you heard that boom, 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 that was the cops. Okay? The 2 guys with guns only have so much ammo. I guarantee you the 2 guys with guns were not carrying around thousands of rounds of ammo. Although the media would want you to believe that and think that the cops are here to protect and serve you, but that's not what the boom, boom, boom you're hearing. You're hearing law enforcement, boom, 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 shooting up every freaking thing that moves or reflects or every 3-legged dog laying in the street.
Just like put our heads over our like hands over our head.
The first shots rang out at 12:30 p.m.
Nice tank. Wow. Look at the paint job on that sucker. What do you think that thing costs? But Rick, it was free. The government gave it to him. It's only free when you get it. You're required to maintain it. These tires are probably $400 or $500 each, especially if they're ballistic proof. You got bulletproof windshields. You got paint jobs. You got decals. You got fancy red lights. Just putting red lights on a regular squad car costs almost, I think, $1,500 to $2,000. Just the red lights on the car cost $2,000. What do you think it costs on something this big with this many lights?
Shots rang out at 12:30 p.m. Early reports indicate that police suspect the shooting started as a drug deal gone bad. The suspects fleeing to that supermarket.
Fleeing to a supermarket, and everybody's shooting.
At this point, we have our officer down. We don't know how he was down, and a lot of officers out here.
We got an officer down. We don't know how he was down. I'm going to take a swag. That's a swinging wild-ass guess for some of you out there. I'm going to take a swag that one of these trusted government officials with their protection rifle took out the cop.
Out in the open.
The shootout lasted hours. A police helicopter and drone were seen overhead.
Shootout lasting hours. 20 years ago, it would have been the standoff and negotiations lasted hours. Now, Shooting lasted hours, thousands of rounds. Yet, Rick, the police are heroes. They're all trying to save us. They're all wonderful. They've got their own flag with a blue line, Rick. Come on.
Officers scrambling on top of a roof to try and neutralize the shooter.
That's scrambling? Holy shit. I've seen a lot worse scrambling at a donut shop when there's one donut left.
Yeah, I got movement at the door. I can see the gun.
SWAT teams rescuing this woman. Witnesses say she'd been trapped inside her car.
Rescuing the woman trapped in her car. If they were able to get to her, that means the bad guys couldn't shoot at her. How did they rescue her? Who were they rescuing her for? Because she was trapped from the shooting. She was freaking rescued because the cops were shooting at the supermarket and she couldn't get out. But no, Rick, they rescued her. Why do you hate cops? I hate tyrannical, out-of-call government, uncontrolled and unaccountable cops. And unfortunately, that's the majority nowadays.
Are in the middle of the firefight. Then moments later, several more running for cover with their hands in the air. The shooters killed inside the store after a neighborhood was under siege for more than 4 hours.
Wow, under siege for 4 hours. Who sieged the neighborhood? Well, Rick, the two bad guys. I keep hearing that on the UPS vehicle. Well, if the cops would have let them go, they would have been chastised, so they can't do anything right. Listen, you big freaking idiots. There's a big gap between doing nothing and the cops showing up and killing everybody. If you can't see that there is a huge gap for several thousand alternatives, and you want to say, well, the cops killed everybody, but if they didn't do nothing, they would have been crucified. You're a freaking idiot. I just can't believe the ignorance out there.
Tonight, the lockout just lifted. Children looking to reunite with their parents.
Oh, isn't that great? They're reuniting them. Who are they reuniting them? Because the cops had them locked down. Why were they locked down? Because government had to protect them. So they lock them down in a building with nobody supposedly got guns in a city with great gun control because two guys are shooting up the neighborhood and thousands of cops fired thousands of rounds. But you know what? They kept the kids safe, Rick. It was a success. Look at the media praising the blue line, the great heroes.
Taken by the horrifying day.
Scary, nerve-wracking, ready to leave. I can't do it no more.
Ready to leave. Gee, isn't that a familiar scene with all liberal cities? They vote for this socialist, liberal, high government, high gun control, lots of cops, lots of enforcement, lots of regulations. We need more cops. We need more taxes. They vote for all that shit. And yet they're leaving in droves. And where are they going? They're not going to other liberal cities. New Yorkers aren't running California. California ain't running New York. They're running from their own liberal policies and destruction. They're like locusts and a virus. It eats and kills the host. And when the host dies, it moves to another host. And unfortunately, the host is just states right now.
Adrian Bankert with us live on the scene tonight. And Adrian, police now believe the suspects stole a U-Haul at some point, and the bomb squad is now investigating?
Yes, David, a team is actually looking into whether that vehicle contained a possible incendiary device. They believe that that truck is part of the crime scene.
Oh, it had a pipe bomb, supposedly. Good grief. Now we're going to call out the feds, the ATF, the FBI. Think about it. We have the ATF, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. We have a government agency that can pretty much get in 80% of the population of this country. Because how many people has ever had a drink? How many people has ever had a smoke? How many people ever had a gun? You pretty much have an entire agency that does nothing but get into your life. Isn't that great? I mean, Department of Motor Vehicles. Who here has a car and is driven somewhere? Gee, that pretty much covers the whole population. We have an entire organization from the government that allows them to get in your life with a book of vehicle code violations in the thousands of violations that allow them to get in your life. IRS, Internal Revenue, who hasn't paid taxes? We have another government agency entirely created to get into your life and to take from you. I'm telling you, man, I just watched the series called Turn about turncoat or when the colonists were fighting the British and when we were fighting for our independence, and to see how the British treated the people. I mean, they would take women, they would bust into your house, they would eat your food, they would take your farmland, they would take the things they just took everything. And people finally had enough. I'm telling you right now, our government is 10 times tyrannical as the redcoats were to our founding fathers. Absolutely outrageous. There's some other pictures here. Hang on. So here's an angle of some cops and EMS watching the shooting. All the tanks, all the fancy red lights, all the people that can't go to work or do anything. And government will be blaming all this on the two guys with guns. Because the 30,000 gun laws on the books that never work, and it only removes guns from good people. It never removes them from the criminal. And the government will sell this as, you know what? We need more gun laws. We need more gun control. That's why these guys did this. After 30,000 laws of telling us we need more gun control, the government will blame this on two guys with guns. They will not mention the gun control failure. They will not mention the over taxation and over abuse of government, and just freaking crazy. Hear all the cops telling people to get back? Who thinks they're telling them to get back because they want to save them? And who thinks they're telling them to get back so they can't videotape what the hell they're doing? I'm voting so they can't videotape. Nike, oh great, wonderful. ATF, wow. Nike and ATF working together. Gotta love it. I think this dude drops a gun. Did I miss it? I think this guy drops a gun, or maybe he drops it as he runs by. Yeah, there he goes. I think that's a gun. Oh, shit. Dropped the Glock. Damn. Where's the magazine? Probably took that off some pesky citizen. Gonna keep it. But Rick, they're there to protect you. Whatever, you freaking idiots. You notice the cops were yelling at people to get back, get back? Notice the fire department is standing there with their little flag? Again, there's no fire in sight. Rick, they're there for medical. Okay, whatever. So the fire department's allowed to stand here. They're not in danger. Cops not in danger. All the pesky citizens who are videotaping, they're the threat. They're the ones that have to get back. Damn, what kind of street sign is that? That's a one-way and that's a one-way? You can't go anywhere on that fucking street. Yeah, you can tell these guys are really scared. Very high-risk situation, Rick. This is really dangerous. Everybody's a hero. Yeah, these guys are really scared. Wow. So now they're saying it may be a hate crime. Well, if you're shooting at people and endangering people, how can that not be hate? Well, Rick, you can love somebody and shoot them. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I'm not using freaking government logic. Freaking crazy. Anyway, evidently this dude was in charge of the black or a member or something. Here, I'll let you guys hear it.
All right, we have breaking news right now at 9:59. We have just learned the names of the two suspects killed in yesterday's shootout in Jersey City. Our chief investigative reporter, Jonathan Dienst, is in the newsroom with the details. Jonathan.
Michael, 4 law enforcement sources tell us the suspects are David Anderson and Francine Graham. 3 sources say Anderson was a one-time follower of the Black Hebrew Israelite movement. There was a note with religious writings found in the U-Haul.
Oh, so we have religious writing in the U-Haul. We have possible pipe bombs, and we have a radical group killing people or doing something over religion or political means. But government still hasn't figured out whether it's a hate crime. because a hate crime, usually reserved for white people, and if somebody's not white and they commit a crime, we can't really jump to the conclusion of hate.
Officials also said there were online postings connected to Anderson's social media with anti-police and anti-Jewish writings.
Well, I got anti-police. I mean, anybody that's not anti-police ought to be freaking ashamed of themselves. It's like being on a watch list. If you're not on a watch list, you should be ashamed of yourself because you're doing something wrong.
Investigators are looking to see if Anderson himself posted that material. Anderson is 47 years old. Graham is 50 years old. Police searched their apartments.
So a 50-year-old female, and one guy caused thousands of rounds and 30,000 children to be locked down and saved by government. And government got to use all their toys and ammunition, so next year they can justify bigger budgets on why they need more. Everybody getting the picture?
For more evidence overnight as they try to learn motive. The Black Israelite movement is known for claiming they are the original Jews, although many mainstream Jewish groups do not recognize them.
Uh-oh, here comes all my Jew haters, blaming everything on Jews. Freaking if it rains, it's the Jews' fault.
Among the social media postings on Anderson's social media pages, we're told, is reference to a past shooting. Police not yet calling this a hate crime. Mayor Fulop earlier today and overnight has said the kosher...
Notice they're showing all these bullet holes? But Rick, they're not saying whether they're the bad guys or the police. Of course not, you big dummy. Because most of them are probably freaking government and the police. You had two guys, a 50-year-old woman and one dude. Do you really think they shot that many freaking rounds?
Store was specifically targeted. The state attorney general's office is leading the investigation with the assistance from state police and the FBI. In North Jersey and here in New York City, law enforcement stepping up patrols in Jewish communities as a precaution, but they're
stepping up patrols. Oh, we need more government, see? Look, next year we're going to have to get a bigger budget because all this overtime that we had to pay out because we had to step up patrols to save the community because we had to lock down 30,000 children. We need more money. We need more taxes. If we only had more police and more money, we could stop all this. Keep believing. Keep drinking the Kool-Aid, you big dummy.
There is no ongoing threat as of now, according to multiple law enforcement officials. Again, two suspects identified as David Anderson and Francine Graham. Anderson believed to have been a one-time follower of the Black Israelite movement.
Just a side note, this happened by Martin Luther King. Do I need to point out that Martin Luther King was Dr. King? And a lot of crime seems to be in Dr. Martin Luther King area. I digress. Let's get back to. And I'll end it with the Daily Mail, which usually, out of the UK, gives better news reporting on what goes on here than our own freaking left-wing controlled government-sponsored media here. They had a lot of pictures of a lot of damage, a lot of people that got hurt, a lot of videos. Oh, look at the poor police car. It's got a little boo-boo. It got a little bitty bullet hole. That bullet hole was caused by a friendly fire. The police shot out their own window, and now they're going to claim they're heroes, right? That's the way the story goes. Lots of crime scene tape. Man, whoever makes crime scene tapes making bank. Lots of politics out there talking about how they're keeping you safe because of gun control. Lots of military tactical gear. Rick, he's a police. He's not military. Yeah, okay. I know. But if he was military, it'd be against the Constitution, right? But if he just dresses, acts worse, and does more than the military, but we call him police, then it's okay for the Constitution. Is that what I'm supposed to believe? Really? Size of that van, paint job, signals, decals, lots of lights. Woo! I bet you that vehicle is in excess of $75,000. Easy. Ooh, the ATF. Ooh. Not too much alcohol and tobacco going on here. We got to get the guns. Fancy uniforms, fancy hats, FBI running from the scene. Look at this military. When I saw this picture, I was like, Jesus Christ, if this isn't a military occupying force, what the hell is it, people? All these cops in a line going to this thing. Guns, guns, guns. But Rick, I thought guns were bad. No, no, you idiot. It's only bad if pesky citizens have it. If government has it to wreak oppression and freaking tyrannical policies, then they're good. Oh, okay. Got to educate you big dummies. Show the kids on the street. Everybody looks pretty scared here. Everybody looks pretty scared there. Rick, they had to save them. Why are you always picking on the poor place? This guy's like, damn, man, I haven't been able to shoot this thing yet. Look at that. Man, hope it shoots. I can't wait to put some rounds through this. Yeehaw. I got me a AR-15, M4, M16 assault. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a protection rifle. Wow, look at all this government protecting and serving the shit out of you. A tank with tracks, with a nice little stand. A tank with tracks. And they put New York PD so it's not the military. But they tell us that we don't need military firearms. But they have military equipment because we can't use the military on civilians. Really? Look at this freaking tank. Shooting holes, bulletproof glass, rams. Wow, ESU. Wow, Emergency Services Unit. They're just servicing the shit out of everybody. New York PD. Wow, those guys are the best. I mean, there's only 40,000 of them, and I think 39,000 are at this incident. All right. Shooting. All right, so that's it. If you want to go read the article, you'll probably find out more if you watch all these videos than you would have if you would have looked at our pesky media. But anyway, that's on the Jersey shooting. You guys know what I know. I'll read the comments and probably find out more from you guys. All right, we'll end that there. I want to end with that freaking great military, or I'm sorry, the police protecting and serving us. Where is that? Maybe I should pause it. Go. Oh, there it is. That's my favorite photo. Wow. I feel so safe. Don't you feel safe, people? With these running around your neighborhood? This is what safety looks like. No, it isn't tyranny, you big dummy. It's safety. It's security. Ooh, I feel all warm and fuzzy. All right, we'll end that there.